So it seems that the mouse managed to upset the fan base yet again. And I legitimately took a step back this time, and I wondered, why is it that people get upset? Now, the official explanation is because people are misogynists, but this doesn't really tell you much. It's like, okay, well, they hate women. Like what? A wife beater, I suppose. Why would a wife beater be concerned with what goes on in Star Wars? Like, what? Do they not have better things to do? Like, do misogynists not have other activities than to go on the internet and complain about Star Wars? And why do they complain about Star Wars and not other movies starring women? Why don't they complain about Alita Battle Angel, for example? Or where were they when the Terminator 2 came out? Where were those misogynists then? Is it like a new breed of misogynists that spend their time on the internet complaining about women? So I looked for a more encompassing explanation, something that would make sense on why so many people get upset about these decisions. And the thing that I came up with was trying to put myself into the fan's shoes. Like, when I grew up with TV shows like Xena, Hercules, Buffy, or when I grew up with certain movies that I liked, The Matrix, one of the things that I liked about it was discussing the plot and discussing the universe with other people. And in order to do that, it needs to have very firm rules within the setting. Now, it doesn't matter if the setting is sci-fi or if the setting is fantasy or whatnot. Like, the rules, the universe needs to make sense. So if something is established, if you're going to change that thing, you need to make an explanation for why it is changed. Like, for example, if the Enterprise all of a sudden can't go to warp speed, it needs to be explained why that happened. Or if the Enterprise manages to all of a sudden go to warp 10, something that was previously established that starships cannot do, then you need to explain how it is that they can go to warp 10. So let's look a little bit at Star Wars, right? Now, Star Wars has a lot of lore when it comes to the Jedi. It has a lot of established things when it comes to how a person can become a Jedi Master. And one of the interesting things is that the Jedi Order takes kids that are very young. You see? There was a big thing with Anakin not being allowed to become a Jedi in the beginning because he was too old. So you need to be a youngling in order to go into the Order. Now, as a Padawan, I think like at first you get schooled by, like in a class type of situation, like with other Padawans in a group, and you have like different masters teaching you the basics. And after that, you get assigned to a specific master and you go on and you do missions. And eventually you get to become a Jedi Knight. Now, to become a Jedi Master, you need to take on an apprentice and guide them from the status of Padawan all the way to Jedi Knight. It's why Anakin didn't get assigned to be a Jedi, because a Jedi Master, because he failed with Ahsoka, right? He failed his Padawan. She didn't manage to become a Knight. And that's like one of the reasons why he wasn't a Master. Now, there are exceptions to this, but like this is what's important to show. It's like this journey that a Jedi needs to undertake in order to become a Master. Princess Leia does not take the journey. And this is what I noticed with comic books and with Star Wars and a lot of other IPs, where the corporation just decides, okay, well, we need a female lead, so let's just thrust the mantle upon her. And there is no more hero journey. There is no more, thing where the audience gets to see the struggle and the hardships that the hero endures in order to get from point A to point Z. That doesn't happen anymore. It's just like, no, we're a progressive company now, and this character is going to get everything that the hero used to have without doing the journey. And that's very boring entertainment. That is, it's almost like there's a committee behind the scenes that just decides which character the fan should like. And it doesn't work that way. You can't impose something on people. And by the way, it doesn't matter if it's Leia. It could have been anyone else. Like, if you're just going to tell people, it's like, yeah, this character is the Jedi Master now. I mean, if it was a black guy, you'd probably call people racist for not liking it. If you'd say, well, Finn is the Jedi Master now, all of a sudden he has access to the Force. Yeah, he's the only one capable of being a Jedi Master. Like, people will go like, come on, where's the journey? Where is the... When did this take place? When did it happen? And when people ask that, it's because you're racist. And that's part of marketing, by the way, because all of a sudden everyone talks about the IP. An IP that most people would probably not talk about anymore. Like, I'm not excited anymore about Star Wars. Like, at all. I used to be so hyped and so excited I would consume any Star Wars product. Like, literally anything that had the Star Wars style I would buy because I loved it. Nowadays, if even like a new Star Wars movie came out, I would be reluctant to see it. The trailer would have to blow me away in order for me to watch it. That's how much they managed to damage the IP. Like, and they're losing money. Like, I'm not paying for it. I haven't seen Solo, the movie, yet. Like, that's how uninterested I have become with Star Wars. And the fandom is incredibly toxic as well. Like, I used to go on forums and talk about Star Wars. Now, if you go on forums and you say you don't like Rey because X, Y, and Z, they attack you. They attack you like sand people. Like sand people, they descend upon you and they try to brutalize anyone that dares speak. The fandom was never this toxic. Freaking gatekeepers. But anyway, right, so this is the problem with Leia. You know, she didn't go through the journey. We didn't get to see when she learned to master these things. And I'm not saying that it wouldn't be possible. I mean, the entire Jedi Order was destroyed. They have to start from scratch. So, you know, like, I get that. But, like, show us the journey. Show us how, you know, she gets to become from someone who never trained with the Force, which again is like something else that's a little bit annoying. I mean, she never got to train with the Force, but all of a sudden, like, she's a Jedi Master. Like, come on. You know, when Luke was doing all those trainings and getting his hand cut off because he wasn't skilled enough as he was fighting with Vader, was Leia training? No, she wasn't. And another thing, like, this is something else that I noticed, and it's very blatant when you look at Star Wars. I don't think the writers can write good characters. So the way they can make a character look successful is if they dumb out all the other characters. So if you look at the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, you had the pilot, right? You have Han Solo, the pilot. Like, he knows how to fly the ship, and he knows everything about the ship's engineering. You have C-3PO, which is I guess the base of knowledge. Like, he has access to all of these logical conclusions that he uses in order to help the other characters with. You have Chewbacca, which is I suppose like the humor character, the comedy relief. And then you have Luke, which is the one that's doing the fighting alongside with Solo, right? So literally everyone has like a role, and when the action hits, they all have a chance to shine because it's a team effort. It's like, if you like Han Solo, you're going to see him shining. If you like Luke Skywalker, you're going to see him shine. But when I look at the new one, Rey literally does everything. Like, she knows everything about the ship. She knows how to pilot. She knows how to fight. All the other characters look incompetent compared to her. And they remove this team aspect. It's all about the main character now. And again, like, this is boring because it's very difficult to have a show that's constantly being dragged by the main character. And I can't think of any. You know, even The Matrix. Yeah, Neo was really powerful, but he wasn't overshadowing all the other. I mean, you know, Morpheus was a strong presence, and Trinity was a strong character. Like, that's my point. You know, like, a good movie, if you want people to be entertained for 2 hours and more, you need to create a group of characters that are interesting, not just one. Like, name me one other character you know from the last Star Wars movies that was good besides Rey. It's very difficult, isn't it? Like, what exactly did Finn do that is astonishing? What exactly did Poe do that is just like, yeah, like, blowing you away? I think, like, Poe is the only one that actually did a couple of things, but again, he gets overshadowed by Rey entirely. So, yeah, I think this is why people are upset. It's got nothing to do with the fact that, okay, Leia is now a Jedi Master. It's basically to do with the fact that Disney, the company, is telling you that Leia is a Jedi Master without showing you the journey, without taking you through her hardships, without, you know, like, helping you get attached to this character emotionally. The only thing, like, they're saying is like, well, okay, Leia is a woman, so you need to be attached to her emotionally because vagina. And it doesn't work that way. You know, I know women in real life, I mean, they're human beings just like everyone else. There's nothing that is special about them. Like, I'm sorry, ladies, but there isn't. I treat them the same like everyone. Like, show me a reason to get attached. Just like, it's the same with men, you know? Like, I don't get attached with men just because they have a cock. I need a reason. Give me the reason. You know, show me how Luke, you know, lost his hand and was like the father doing it. You know, that's powerful. That's emotional attachment. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section.